Perfect. So without further ado, introducing you to our moderator, Shipra Chaturvedi. Well, Shipra Chaturvedi is a business analyst manager at Deloitte. She is a self-motivated individual with excellent communication and leadership skills. She's adaptable, organized, and skilled in prioritizing tasks with a strong client focus. Shipra has a basic understanding of company business practices and possesses intermediate level of Unix and SQL. She has experience using tools like X-Ray, Jira, and Autosis, and has worked with agile processes and geographically distributed development team members. Shipra believes in the power of team spirit, creative solutions, and smart work in a fast-paced and dynamic environment. Thank you so much, Shipra, for joining us on this session. I'm looking forward to all of the questions that you would have to ask our panelists today. Shipra, I'm not able to hear you. No, you're not audible yet. I think it's, if you can unplug your device. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for that confusion. So thanks, Kashish, first of all, for the beautiful introduction that you have given me. And I am obliged to be invited by my institute for this particular event, Women in Product Management. So a lot of days we keep hearing about, a lot of initiatives being taken, and I really like the theme of Women in Product Management, the 3-week festival especially. And here we are in the second week, Women in Product Marketing, and that's why we have Purvi here. So good morning all, and what an amazing Sunday morning to start with. So let me introduce our speaker, Purvi Sharma. So Purvi brings over 13 years of extensive product marketing experience in SaaS, automotive IT, manufacturing, and professional services. She has been instrumental in driving collectively successful go-to-market activities, product positioning, and launches. Driving market campaigns by being an integral contributor in building monitoring and execution phases of the product launches. With her creative approach and prompt thinking, she has led multiple high-level projects to fruition with strategic priorities at the core of the team. Purvi has an outgoing personality who is always on the lookout for new avenues of learning and collaborating with cross-functional teams for various projects. Off work, she enjoys abstract painting and finds immense pleasure in bringing her imaginative senses to the canvas. So welcome, Purvi, to the session.
Hi, Shipra. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope you guys can hear me okay.
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be part of this women collaboration and this great initiative that you guys are driving to celebrate women in product. And let me say it is much needed because we definitely want more and more women to join in the product and lead product organization, because I think they have all the right qualities to do so. So thank you so much for this initiative on first place, and thank you so much for calling. Look forward for the session.
Thanks, Purvi, for that. And yeah, IPL is my institute as well, and I really appreciate. I still get the mentor support, the professor support, whatever I need. I have completed my course in August 2022, but I'm still getting that support whenever I want. So really yeah, nice. I'm happy to be here in the session and to be with you as our guest speaker. So okay, really looking forward to it. So let me go with the first question towards you.
Sure.
And that is, what inspired you to choose the marketing section of the product, and how has been your journey throughout?
Sure. So yeah, I mean, journey, I wouldn't say I had a very different journey altogether. I started my career back in 2010 with a very traditional, set of product marketing, getting the marketing skills. I started, with communication part, followed by my experiences that varied from demand gen, to really, building the brand marketing, partner marketing aspects. So really different facets of marketing is something I've been through in my career journey so far. And, but in all this journey, my primary associations with the organizations that I've worked have been product led. So be it automotive firm or be it a SaaS company. So a lot product focused. And, even if you look, in India, we've always been service-oriented companies. I mean, it's been few years back that we started having this, SaaS and product led companies, especially Indian startups, to be product led. That the wave really started, and I guess I was lucky enough to get this early board on, because I thoroughly enjoyed my journey while I was working with different product teams, and really doing the product launches, building the product strategy, getting the feedback from the customers in the MVP stage, really working back, building the product with the product teams, and working this cross collaboration, understanding the product, making sure that story sells well, to the outside market. So all this definitely was very, very intriguing for me. And again, in back since the last 5-6 years, even product marketing is a very, very fresh function that's being introduced, right? So I guess I was lucky enough. I was a fresh new mother around that time, back in 2019, and I wanted to take a leap. I wanted to get a new challenge, and ICIT has happened, which is a unicorn, and I was fortunate enough to kickstart this function. I was one of the primary members, and product marketing actually built the function and led product marketing team from there. So yeah, it's been fantastic for a journey so far. I totally enjoy taking products to the market, and really working with cross collaboration with team is something that that really took my interest, and I chose this path in different facets of marketing. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Happy to hear that. And I know, I think marketing is a very strategic kind of, role.
Right.
You have to decide from the start till the end. And we started go-to-market, so I have not practiced it in my role yet. But in my role, I have practiced something common to you, which I would say not only the customers, but
right.
bringing all the internal stakeholders together.
Right.
That is I am trying to bring the technical team, the design team, and I know we have agile, we go with the working software, but then it's a challenge to bring design, technical, marketing, sales, everything together. Yeah. So what's your take? I mean, from which stage of the product would you like marketing to be involved, or you would have implemented certain process, or maybe you have been a part of it where you link with marketing, with design, with development. So if you can give us some example for the audience sitting here, like how do we do that?
Yeah. So I mean, this is what I've experienced. That typically in an organization, what really happens is, a lot of function works in silos. Product would work in silo, and then product marketing. So there's a product, that they start building a product. It could be out of, the sales have asked for certain, customers have asked for certain features, and out of those features, probably, without really validating in market, we start building those products, really understanding the why of it. And then, it's being told to the product marketing to go ahead and launch it. But over here, I mean, it is very, very important to, take a pause and look back. Where should we really start integrating with those teams? I mean, you have this sprint zero. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of different process in different organizations, but sprint zero, when we start really talking about those feature building process, and, what is that you want to go ahead, be it quarter wise, if you're building, those features, or any new application that you're planning to launch. So start involving product marketing team right from there. Because so the product, so here's the point, when we start building a product, I think product strategy starts even before that. So, you are laying the foundation, that, you're laying the vision of the product. Where is that you want to reach? What is that you want to achieve? Okay. And what is, really understanding what does customer really want? I mean, we definitely don't want to get into product myopia and really weigh out the alternatives, right? If there's an alternative in the market, customers might not want to come back to you, right? So really weighing all those, understanding the competition, how you really stand out. So really laying the land, first, and then start working and really questioning of, why you want to build this, why we want to have this, why do you think, the series of why do you think, we would differentiate ourselves and from a competition? Why do you think customers would adopt us? You use this feature or use this application. So I think it's very, very important in the process to, write from, discussing about, feature building or design process. You should have, product marketing team inbuilt. And from there, I think teams should go together. And this is how the process should be. And I've also implemented such process in my current organization to make sure, it's not like, okay, we've done the product, now go and launch. No, that's not the right way to do it. So yes, I think that's the way to look at it.
Yeah, I am sure you would have faced the challenge, and it's really difficult to implement that process. So building the process is one thing, and implementing it.
Right.
So would you like to tell or share with our audience, like not the whole process, but like the necessary steps or the challenges that you faced, or the steps how you build that process and brought it to implementation, probably how you work with the design team, then how you work with the leadership, how you work with the internal other teams,
Right.
like technical, etc. So
Right.
that even the technical team comes and talks to you about the marketing, or the design team comes, sales
Right.
are getting that from the sprint zero, where we
Right.
also call it sometimes INA sprint in agile. So that from that point, we are starting it. So probably if you can tell us, all of us, basically, certain steps or certain challenges that you faced and how you overcame it.
Sure. So, I mean, I think it's all also driven a lot from the founders and the company vision mindset. So luckily in our organization, product marketing and strategy is a very, very critical part. It's a very, very important part, and it's being heard really well. So it has to be it definitely comes from the founders mindset as well. So making sure in this way of implementing this whole process, as I rightly said, start from the sprint zero, start from when we actually just think of building any feature or any application. In this whole process, it is very important, as like you rightly mentioned, you have to work in a big cross collaboration team. So, you include your release management team, include your, the product team, include rest of the, marketing team. Even they want to be aware of what's really coming up, so that they are also ready with, if there's a product launch that needs to come, they have to be ready with the creatives, or we have to put forth their communication in place. So giving a heads up to all of them as well. So, starting with the release team, product team, understanding, how the process of product team is, how product marketing really work. Actually, maybe selling also at times, which is required internally, that how we can really help in giving those competitive insights, how we can really help in those while you're taking a deep dive about a persona. Because so how I really define product marketing is it becomes a linchpin for sales, product, and rest of the marketing team. So it becomes a very, very strategic and core function. So start from sprint zero, work with the release management teams, work with the product management teams, and then start laying down the foundation. Of course, we'll have to have buy-in from all the leaders, executive leaders, and stakeholders eventually. But yeah, this definitely is the starting point. And then while implementing this, you might find certain resistance that, why would you need this? And we know it better. So there are a lot of bias there that comes in. Right? But I think it's very important to make them understand, because as I rightly mentioned about product marketing. So it becomes a linchpin. It is one function that is talking to almost all other important functions of the organization. At the same time, it becomes voice of the customer, because they're talking to the customers. It becomes, because they are the ones who talk to the analyst firms. They talk to the analysts, what's really going on, what are the trends looking like. So they can give those, perspective and feedbacks to the product team and shape them, okay, that we are aligning, all of us aligning towards a product vision that we want to reach. So yes, these definitely, there would be challenges and resistance, but yeah, there has to be there has to be a talking that has to keep on going. And I definitely believe in this whole process. One thing very strongly is about relationship building. I think, yeah, so it is so important, for you to actually go down and, put up your sleeves, really understand what, those product managers do, unless until you don't talk their language. It's just the same thing, unless until we don't talk customer language, they would not really appreciate and relate to us. And similarly, we need to understand, what these product guys do, and really understand, the product, be able to demo it as well. As even if you're a product marketing you should understand in and out about it. So that's definitely very, very important. And building relationships, with product team, because they are working with so many teams, and design and engineering, and I understand there's so many challenges every day for them as well. So relationship building becomes very, very critical in this whole process. And at the same time, getting the voice of customer, analyst, even the sales guys who are on the field. What kind of traps do they fall into when there are other competition? They are coming up with the product, and what are the responses? How our product features can fill those responses? So that, getting those insights are also very, very important. So really building that relationship, communicating, time to time, with the product teams, with the release teams, making sure there is a cohesiveness in this whole process, and everybody's on board, taking and making sure that obviously leaders, you get a buy-in from all the leaders, and they also understand, the importance of it. So yeah, this probably I would say is the way to go. and there's no other way to just keep working. So keep working towards improving the process and implementing it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you mentioned one really good thing, that was about relationship building,
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we enter a new organization, it's difficult, that we start telling them from our experience. And, the things are like, every team is important. We know that. And to bring each and every team, and in fact, all the members in every team at one vision, that this is how we have to sell the product, when the sales team goes to it. So sometimes it also happens, and maybe, so the two parts that you just said, and probably if you can elaborate more on it, how do we go about, so obviously it's very difficult when you are in the current organization, or if organization and go in a planned setup, like you said, that the marketing part is there, but you are trying to bring up something which is aligning each of the members or each of the teams, product, design, technical development, etc., to one goal, and especially sales as well, to the same goal, because sales comes at the end, and product development and everything comes in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, if you can just suggest like two ways of how you work on those relationship buildings with each team. Right.
So when you say how we work with those functions, I think it's very, very important, when it comes to sales. So if I can just, ask you once again, you talk about the sales and the product team, how we work with them.
I mean, relationship building with each team,
Sure.
to bring them with one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, there's no moon mantra for it, but I would say just start with every day, go with a cup of coffee, start with some basic conversations of what's really happening in their lives, how you can really connect with them, get a central point. I mean, this is how we build relationships, right? I mean, we didn't just I mean, if I come every day, Shipra, this is the, it works, that, this is needs to be done. And you would be like, back off, right? So yeah, I mean, for making sure that even they are available to talk and, empathizing with them, empathy becomes very, very critical, you become you being a leader, or, you leading anything. So yeah, and then finding that right spot, between both of you, both individuals, if you're trying to interact, how try and connect to them, and also I think learning happens both ways. So if you, for example, if they could be ways that, for example, analyst, there's a lot of analyst report that keep on coming, the feedback from analysts. So making sure that you're keeping all of them posted. So what's really happening? So they also know on top of it, right? They don't have to look out for information. There's a central repository, try and maintain that, make sure that you're keeping them posted, about what's really coming. What is that we're building, how, and keeping them insights also about the competition. What is the competition up to? If there's a new feature that, probably that product manager and your, for example, if you have a sourcing team and there's another feature, that your competition is being building, and then give them insights about, what are the new features that are calling out, how they're really positioning, discuss them out with that. So, and even if you, it's building a positioning or, value prop for any product, it's not done by one team, one person. It has to be a holistic approach to it. So really discussing that out, with different teams and talking them through, taking that feedback from the sales, giving them, all what's that required. I mean, they had been times when I'm actually sitting and just pasting logos, for my sales teams. I've done it all, and they love it. I mean, they appreciate every bit of it. So really, being there when they need and giving them information, keeping them posted about, what's really coming, and giving them feedback from everywhere that you get. Be it, if you have a customer meeting, what is the feedback that you got, that you can pass on to the product team so that they improve in their features and functionality part. If there's there is a competitive insight, you give to the sales team. If there's an analyst feedback, analyst report that comes in, you give to other teams as well. So I think dissemination of information really helps in an organization. And at the same time, and maybe just go hang out and chill and, build those relationships. So, yeah.
That's nice, and that's quite creative and strategic. So one, I could assume, like, if I have to summarize, is about, just go on and converse with team members, try to know them, not like on the very first day or all the days, but yes, at least have that. Yeah. And second is like more about, talking about different things. I think that's like take an initiative and talk about different things. I think that's really helpful, and I hope that will help our audience and everyone. I mean, including me, that advice that you gave, because relationship building is the most important thing these days. You want to work as a product manager or marketeer. So now you told about two very important things, which is like competition analysis as well as positioning. So now you are a global storyteller. That's what I can assume from you, and I can see that how you're talking about all the things. So now I would like to come to that section. Now we've talked about the internal stakeholders. Now let's to the customers. And how do you, what are the ingredients of building a good story, ethically sells it to the customers? So, I mean, how do you derive or come up to that particular story that this is something that I would sell to my customers, and, my sales people will go and tell this story to the customer to buy it. So, what about the storytelling part, basically? Yeah, because that's the most important thing in marketing.
Right, absolutely. So I think the primary, of really starting to build any story or craft the right story, I think research. I mean, that's like the, foundation layer for everything that you do, right? So really understanding, the customers that you're trying to target, the personas that you're trying to target, what is that they're seeking for? So these, the customers are not really looking out, for problems. It's our thing to solve. They are looking out for solutions, right? So really understanding, getting into their skin, understanding their functional and emotional attributes. What is that they're looking for? What is that they're seeking for? What is the job they want to be done? Right? And why should they really believe you that, you are the right partner for them? And why should they choose you? So really understanding the customers, and at the same time, understanding the competition. If you have the product and, of course, you have, other competition as well. So how are they really positioning? What is the story that they're weaving? Because you want to make sure that you are differentiating yourself from them. So that becomes very, very critical. Understanding competition, what is that they're calling out for? it is very important to stick to your core of your, of your product, the fundamental innovation that you stands out for. So making sure that you weave that, and it has to be honest, right? It has to be honest, and it has to be relatable at the same time. So relatable to a customer. For example, if you're targeting a legal tech, so talk their language, while you're crafting that story. The language that they talk in day-to-day language that they find relatable to. So I think it's very, very important to make sure that you do, weave your story around that. You make it relatable to your end customer, your, target customer. And at the same time, it's and if it's empathetic, I mean, if it's relatable, that something really stands out, and it has to be authentic at the same time. And not all features can become your star features. So you really have to make sure that what are the features that you're calling out in your story. You cannot have like long list of 5-10 features, and that is what I'm trying to sell. Nobody would register it. So really concise, top fundamental innovation, that the product that you stand for, your top differentiation that you stand for, and weave it with the relatable theme and content that probably your end customer and target really uses. And this is how I would really, tie up a story and then sell it out in the market. And as I mentioned, research definitely becomes the primary foundation of really starting to do this activity. So yeah.
Yeah, very rightly said, because sometimes we see a lot of features, especially in the mobile sections. We get like a lot of options these days along with a lot of. So yeah, calling out the like unique value proposition is very, very important. And yeah, I do believe in that. So and maybe with this, since you have told us about your storytelling, about how you have implemented the process, your journey so far. So probably what do you think are the 3 most important ingredients of a product marketing leader to be successful in any industry, in any organization, be it startup, be it an enterprise, or anything? So yeah, albeit your own entrepreneurship, maybe if you go forward and you want to do, consulting marketing, maybe for some firms. What are those 3 top, or you can say more as well, 3 to 5, the most important things, for a product marketing leader? And I think one of them you already emphasized, which is like relationship building, which is really important. And yeah, probably you can talk more about what you think is important throughout the journey. And, to even grow forward from here.
Right.
That's also important.
Right. So as you said, relationship building. So how, if I go back, how can I really do it? So being empathetic. I mean, I keep on calling out that word. It's so important for me, as a person, even in our day-to-day life, we have to be very empathetic to our child. If they're asking for something, really understanding their problem, not just giving them, no, you cannot do this solution all the time. So really being empathetic towards your customers. What is that they're looking out for? Are we really solving the right problem for them? Are they really ready to pay for what you're building? Is it the right value for me? So really being empathetic on all the angles, and then at the same time, being empathetic to your internal stakeholders as well. Sales, if they need anything, really understanding what is that they need, and not just keep pushing. Okay, this is what we prepared, and no, now go back and use this. It has to be a very iterative, feedback oriented kind of relation and kind of connection. So yeah, really making sure that you're being empathetic. I think that really stands out for me. Being in this function, especially product marketing, which becomes very, very strategic function in the whole marketing team. And if I can just call out, I think it is the most important skill as we evolve, if we want to reach to the CMO level, because you asked how we want to grow from here. So yes, demand gen, all these table stakes are definitely important, being understanding of demand gen, or, partner marketing, all these aspects, brand communication, very, very important. But that one very key aspect, in today's world is, really getting a hang of product marketing skills. So that's definitely important. And one big thing, one big quality that can make you really a successful leader would be you have to be very, very collaborative. You have to you have to work with these large cross-functional teams. As I mentioned earlier, being the linchpin, work closely with the sales team, with the product team on a day-to-day basis, and being this strategic, input output sort of function for rest of the marketing team. So why I say that, for example, if there's a product launch, right, it is so you start working with the product team, right, and then you make sure you give heads up right on 3 months before, 6 months before, to rest of the marketing team, so that they're also prepared, be it a PR launch, or we want to put out some demand gen activity. We want to do some A/B testing before we really go out and launch our positioning. And we want to start with small set of customers. So customer marketing team, partner marketing team, really making them understand, what is that new thing that we are coming at, how they can leverage while selling out. Sales enablement, it becomes very, very important. Sales training of those upcoming features. So yeah, I mean, if you see, it's like very extensive. And then, of course, working very closely with the leadership team on the pricing part. We work with, as I mentioned about product team, we work while crafting a product strategy together, while crafting the value prop, while crafting the positioning of that product. And this is how we work closely with so many other stakeholders. And so it is very, very important to be collaborative in nature. So I think it's all can be tied up, empathetic, collaborative, all this coming out together. And at the same time, it becomes very, very important to be assertive. So it might so happen that, you've been asked to, these are the 10 features that we've done. These are the 10 products that we've done, and then you're supposed to launch it, but you cannot launch all of them in the same manner. There has to be tier-based launching. So as I told you, not all the products that you put out can be the stars. I mean, even if we look, Apple, trillion, around trillion growth of market, but most of their revenue actually comes from half a dozen of products, right? So it is very, very, very important for us to really understand what are the top applications, what are the top features that we want to launch in a star manner, and then tier it down for the other ones as well. So being assertive and really calling it out, what's important to do, what's right for the company, what's right and is aligned to your product vision, and also take some hard decisions at times. If there is already too many products and we are trying to confuse a customer or prospect coming in, maybe bundle it down, or if required, sunset. So, you have to take those hard calls as well. So being assertive becomes very, very important quality. So I mean, this is what I would suggest, that if you want to be a successful product marketing leader, I think, being empathetic, collaborative, assertive are something really, really important, in this journey. So yes.
Yeah, thank you. And really, wow, because first you emphasized in relationship building. And then, you have, so I can summarize, and maybe if I heard you correctly, and, the 5 things that you said, or 3 things that you said, is empathy, collaboration, and the last part, assertiveness. Now, there we come where, when we grow in the organization, then that's a challenge, because we are dealing with the leadership as well. We are dealing with the teams as well. We are dealing with, and we want to be customer centric as well.
Right.
So I think one thing that one challenge, or how when you grow up the ladder, and being assertive becomes very important, but still sometimes you're not able to make that decision because you don't have that authority, maybe sometimes, or sometimes you're not able to convince even with your assertiveness and with your decision. So how do you handle that situation?
I think first it is very important to make sure you convince yourself that and weigh yourself really properly. I mean, knock yourself down if required. Why you saying this? How and you can be wrong. So be open to kind of challenge and take challenges as well. So I think it is very important to kind of keep yourself open-minded that ways. And if you've seen that in past experiences, if you've seen that, coming from the customers, you have right backing, understanding from talking to the analyst firms or, talking to the sales team, I think you are in the right position to take it through because it's right for the company. And you have to make sure, you have to convince them, right? About pros and cons of giving them both the sides if we do it. So, giving them this full picture. Okay, if we do this, we attempt this, this is what could be the outcome. Or if we attempt this, and this probably could, be the other set of outcome. And then, try and take it that buy-in. I mean, there's no other way to really, you have to kind of market and sell and convince, and all this just keeps on going hand in hand together in an organization, both internally and externally. So I think there's no other way to just, keep doing that, keep doing the right thing, which is right for your organization. So yeah, that's what I would say.
That's really useful advice that you gave, that, being assertive, and then we have to be open about that. We can be assertive about our viewpoints, but that we have to be open about. So presently, I mean, if I can summarize it, it is more about like having your skills, having your points, facts based with the pros and cons, and then also be open to hear about, others' point of view in those pros and cons. So yeah, that's really useful. And that's really, that is how you said that, be open-minded, and that's what is reflecting. So yeah, I think that's really good. And maybe the last question for this conversation, I would say, and we know a lot of startups are coming up, and then we have an exciting session. So just wait. So this is the last question of this conversation, but we have an exciting session with Purvi. So, nowadays, a lot of startups are coming up. So, how can founders in B2B SaaS, since you are, like kind of specializing in SaaS as well, how do founders, like say with a startup of 50 employee, 200 employee, they can grow in market? Like, what do you suggest should be the steps for the marketing part of their product when they are at that stage, to the stage, say, I will not say 5,000 or something, but at least they reach like 500 employees or somewhere. So how do you build, or what should be the starting point and the steps for the startups? Especially B2B SaaS, or maybe you can focus on it if at all it differentiates the other industries. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So, so let me answer you this way. So how does product marketing really help? So having the right product marketing and strategy in place. It lays out a clear vision. You want, the teams really understand about what the customer is, what is that they want, what is that you're building for. There's a proper alignment there. You know what is your clear value prop, how you are able to differentiate yourself from the competition. And let's look at the other side. What if you don't really have this in place? So I call it as a dysfunction. If we don't really have the right strategy or right value proposition being called out. For example, if it's engineering, it becomes engineering led, right? So it would probably focus a lot on building a lot of new features, and maybe at times not really understanding our customers really ready to pay for that. Our customers really wanting that what you're building, because I think they probably would be more focused on building those cool products. So that might so happen, right? If it's so I'm talking about the time when there's not really a clear product marketing and strategy vision with the company. And for example, if it's a leadership team, right? I mean, they might be biased about their past experiences. I mean, but customer keeps on evolving, the market keeps on evolving, the needs keep on changing. That might happen. If it's just marketing and sales driven, it might just become too customer focused. so I mean, they would just, you just keep on customizing product, and then at one point of time you realize that you're not able to scale, or you lose the fundamental innovation of your product. So I think and this probably answers it all. So why it is really important to have, this clear vision of really understanding your target market, you really understanding your product, product vision, really understanding what customers are really wanting to have. So, and then you're coming back to your question that is about the startup and while they're scaling up. So typically in a startup, the founder would let these function both for product management and marketing. And eventually when they realize that, there's a linear growth and they understand that market gap is when they start establishing that, about the function, about the product strategy. I would call it a combination of product management and product marketing, and to achieve this hockey stick growth, because this really can't be done unless until we really call out our differentiation, or how, if we position ourselves differently from how our competition is really doing, and really solving the right problem of our customers, that what they're looking out for. So I think it becomes very, very important for having the right, and it doesn't start, as I mentioned earlier as well, that it starts even before building the product. So have the right product strategy in place, and then you go ahead and then build the product, and then you market it, and then achieve the growth that you require. So I think this is typically the way it goes is like it starts from the founders, and then mid-size you start building the product management, and then you really establishing the whole function, the product marketing management. So yeah, this is how I see the evolving function, or the organization evolving as they grow in typical B2B SaaS or any particular space, I would say.
Yeah, thank you for that, Puri. I think, yes, that are very rightly said. It starts with the founder's vision. And then, we come up as like a marketing, product management and marketing needs to work together. Right. And then probably at the third stage, where the organization is a mid-sized, we can build a whole marketing team. So right. Really, that path in such, in such words, it's really helpful to derive. And thanks for that. And now, before we jump into the audience questions, we have something exciting for Purvi and for all of you who are watching us. So there is a rapid fire round. I really love coffee with Karan. So,
so do I. I think so everyone, right? In the audience.
So yeah, it's more to know about Purvi, and if you want to reach out, probably you can connect on LinkedIn. And so we will have this fun round. And before that, like we'll just take like 10 seconds and I probably and if you want to have water or something, this is to all the audience, so please do take it.
Including me.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of water in the morning. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so here we start with you, Purvi, and the rules for this are there are like 7 to 8 questions. Okay. And you will have to probably answer, in one word or one line. And you have to be prompt about it. You don't have to think. It's like a rapid fire round. Okay.
So, I'm trying to brace myself. Okay.
So, at the end of the rapid fire, I will also let you know like how many you've answered, because I have to ask it quickly, but you have to think and answer it.
And you don't give me thinking time. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, let's start with it. And the first question for you, Purvi, is Purvi a storyteller or a story writer?
Storyteller.
Okay, great. Second question comes, one subject you would like to learn more about in product?
Okay, agile teams.
Agile teams. Yeah, that's really, because it's improving day by day. Yeah. Something else is coming up every day. Yeah. Entrepreneur versus intrapreneur. What would you choose?
Entrepreneur.
Great. Okay. So we are looking forward to that. Okay. This is a very interesting one, and I particularly like it while framing. If you are given a signed blank check, what would you do? You can fill any amount, 1 crore, 2 crore, anything.
I'm not thinking less 150 crores.
Okay, great. That's even more. That's thinking like an entrepreneur. So yeah, what would you do with that?
I want to do too many things. I want to have my startup, and maybe I am really driven by art, painting, and maybe invest some money in kind of encouraging artisans around India, starting with, and then probably globe. So yeah, those are the areas I would love to kind of invest money in.
Yeah, I really love that part that you said you want to encourage artisans, and it's really few that who are encouraging. I mean, it's really few that we hear this. So yeah, I wish you get a signed blank check someday and you encourage. What is your hidden talent? Something that no one knows outside your house, or maybe your house.
Okay, now that's a tricky question. Okay, I can keep secrets.
Oh, okay, great. My secrets. Okay, great. So the next question is, if you were AI, what technology bot you would be?
I would love to be open Azure AI chat GPT model, because they would secure customers' data. I'm not really sure what's really happening, whatever you're entering in chat GPT every day. I'm very particular about data security. So let me follow which works ethically, through the responsible AI. So yeah.
Okay, great. That's a great answer. Thanks. Okay, now 2-3 more, and then we are good with it. What are you most looking forward to at this stage?
I'm most looking forward to completing my book. So I am also, writing a book on growth, product marketing, and different facets of it. So once it is out in market, I would love to kind of, to everybody who's there in the call, I would love to kind of go back to you, and in case you guys are interested, would love to send you copies. So yeah, that is something I look forward to it. To really take this, so that there's so many, I'm sure I love, I also talk to a lot of founders. There's so many founders who really have amazing product, but don't really know the right thing to do as a next step, or probably want that particular guidance. So I think it is very, very important. And I'd love to see people succeed. So maybe that would be my one small contribution, as a product marketing person. So yeah.
Yeah, great. Probably we can ask Kashish to give you a list of participants, and you can send a signed book to all of us when you're finished with it.
Absolutely.
And great to know that you're writing a book.
Right.
Okay. And the last question of the session is 3 important leadership qualities which you already answered, but this is not from the marketing part. This is like when you grow up as any leader, in the industry, in any industry, in fact. What are the 3 most important leadership qualities according to you?
Right. I think listen. Very, very important. Listen to your peers, listen to your teams, trust your teams, and listen to them, and then probably come to a judgment. So I think listening becomes very, very critical. Trust is a very important quality. I think it's very important to trust your teams. It's very important to trust people you work with. So that really stands out for me. And respect, and just respect everybody who comes with their own set of knowledge or own set of experiences, and I'm sure there'll be a lot to learn. So yes, I mean, respect everybody around you. I think these are very, very important to me. And if I can just add one more, I'm very hungry in terms of learning, so always seek out for new opportunity to learn and grow. So yeah, I mean, I would say these are probably the qualities for anybody who wants to be grow and in a leader, even on a day-to-day basis, I would rather say. So, yeah.
Yeah, great. And clapping for you, your finish is really nice. Listen and trust.
So where's the hamper? Where's my hamper now?
Oh, that you'll have to come to the IPL office.
Okay. Sure.
For all the information, all the knowledge that you have given to this forum today. And probably now I would request Kashish for any questions that we have from audience. I can see some from the chat. So Kashish, would you like to go forward, or how do we take it? Or, I mean, should I take it from the chat?
Yeah, so there is one very interesting question. I think this would be much easier because if I take it for you both, because this question is directed for the both of you. This is from Vishrut Kumar, and it is like a rapid fire for you as well. So let me take that first, and then Shipra, you can, I think, dig back into the other questions that we have. So this is for both of you. Maybe you can take 10 seconds to answer each of the questions. Question number one, how to identify which kind of analytics can be used to conclude that a business initiative is effective? Let's start with Purvi.
I think it is very important to there's so many analytics tools that are available in the market that you can use. Otherwise, really understanding what your past decisions have led to, and if there is a company playbook that's being maintained, that can give you recommendations basis on your past decisions that you've made. So I think that becomes very, very critical. So historical data becomes very, very important to really judge. And at the same time, yes, keep on taking, understanding from the market, and basis that one should make decisions. So, yeah.
Shipra, would you like to add on that?
Yeah, I think the one part is customer centric, as we mentioned, but internally to take a decision and what business would like to go ahead with next. As a product owner, I would say the analysis. So tools can be many, definitely. I mean, get a list of tools in Google, but then I think it's more important to see what has been used till now and what is the customers internal, if say I'm working on internal products right now. So what are the internal customers reactions to it till now that we find through analytics, and we are actually doing in one of our current projects. And then we see, okay, what next version of the product we would like to bring. So suppose in mobile, if I see that Netflix is being used a lot in my model, in my previous models, and I come with the analytics report of say 1 or 2, 3 apps, Netflix, Amazon, then definitely we should definitely put them in, and we can also think of merging something else with it in the next version of the mobile. So yeah, I think that's what I would like to add.
All right, the next question from same Vishrut Kumar has 4 questions. I'll go to the next one. How to make tough challenges and still make the right choices? Frameworks and marketing technologies, like how to select and implement these frameworks. Shipra, would you like to begin?
Yeah, actually frameworks in marketing, I think Purvi can suggest better. So probably we can start with Purvi.
So I mean, one framework that I would suggest is that Salesforce really uses is V2MOM. Is really aligning your vision, product vision with the values. What are the obstacles? What are the measures? Of course, you want to make sure that everything what you do is being measured right. So V2MOM is like one framework that you guys can think of in terms of really understanding the product vision. Really understanding what are you leading to, or what is the organization leading to. So that's one very important from customer point of view. I think jobs to be done framework again is very, very helpful. Is something you can again look out for. So yeah, I would suggest these 2.
Yeah, I think that add now that what Purvi has said, that correctly jobs to be done. So what works for the customer and product market fit. That's where, because we have to analyze the market, how many products are available to our competition. So that's what we have learned through my executive MBA. And yeah, that's the very challenging part, because nowadays you name it and you have like 10 apps for everything. So even if I want to order food, I have like 10 apps for it. So yeah, how uniquely it is solving, or how fast, like Grofers always says 8 minutes. So yeah, I think that how fast or how easy is it solving the customer's problem?
In one sentence, what according to you is a great marketing plan?
So a great marketing plan is something if it reaches to the right audience at the right time and give you the right results. Yeah.
I think this is the last question from Vishrut Kumar, a part of his rapid fire. Which AI tools do you use for product marketing, and what would you recommend?
Okay. I don't use in my current role. So probably, Purvi, if you have anything.
Right. So it depends on what is the problem that you're trying to solve, when it comes to product marketing. So there are a lot of phases, right? I mean, are you trying to acquire new customers, or it could be product adoption led, right? If there's a customer success team that is involved, for really making sure that your features or applications that you're building, there's a cross-selling that's happening over and above the platform that you're selling. So for example, for that particular part, I like what Gainsight really does. So it's a great tool. So as I told you, there could be a lot of things. For customer onboarding, it could be different. For analytics, it could be different. So for onboarding, especially, I really love what Fix really does. So I think that's again a very great tool to make sure that there's a smooth customer onboarding. At the same time, it also helps you give those product analytics, like what is the feature that probably your customer is clicking the most, really giving those insights from your product. If you have your I mean, it might just differ from organization to organization. You have a light user or a heavy user. How the users that we're targeting, how are they really using the product, really giving those insights about the product. So yeah, I mean, that is also being done by them. So I like them as well. So yeah, really wanted to understand what exactly are you looking for. So there are a lot of tools, and even if you search, there'll be a lot of tools that will be available for understanding analytics in general. Of course, we've got Google Analytics, but yeah, in specific, if there's any problem that we're trying to solve, I mean, these two probably, could be helpful if it's a adoption level, or it's like, onboarding level, something I could suggest right now.
All right. Since we have just about, couple of 3-4 more questions, may I request you to, maybe, is it possible if we can extend the panel by 5-10 minutes and take these questions? Purvi and Shipra, I hope.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm
Good.
fine. Okay.
Kashish, if you allow me, I'd like to go with the first question that Mukesh has asked.
Yeah, please.
Okay. What techniques or frameworks do you use to manage product roadmaps and timelines? So I think this I can always answer, and obviously you can add from the marketing front there, because this is something that I really wish, and I hope it is useful for all of you. And in fact, if you think something, please do message me back on LinkedIn. So yeah, I think, techniques or frameworks in all the product sections are always there. But since agile is the thing, and it is coming up with certain reasons, and it is coming up with a level, up each day. So first thing that I would say is analyze, like the first steps, analyze the essential part, and that can be a very, so what we say is minimum viable product. Analyze the root cause, like Purvi already mentioned in the session, we should be solving that particular problem in a very unique way for the customer. So whether it's internal product to the company or it's external product to the customer, that part, keep that part in mind. We have to analyze the very essential framework for it, very essential parameters, or, and we have to come with that, with the MVP based on those parameters. So that is the very first step. That can be an Excel. You are just noting down certain things. You are like having a program behind it and trying to take orders. Suppose if it's a delivery app, and see how people are reacting to the time, how people are reacting to what kind of deliveries they are expecting, etc. So this is just an example of, say, any delivery app, okay, time and what items they are actually asking mostly for. So, and how we are solving it uniquely as compared to the other apps which are existing in the market. So if I take this example forward, now we have analyzed with that MVP what is going on and how people are using other apps, we already know. And the research part that Purvi mentioned, that now with this first step, try to build the minimum marketable product, go forward with it. And once you are there with the MVP and MMP, and you have got certain good amount of customers in the MMP as you expected, then probably, we can think of a full-fledged product roadmap. And even the roadmap can be agile. It cannot be something, you thought that you will deliver these 3 features this year, and maybe while delivering those 3 features, since the market is so competitive, say someone else came up and delivered one or two features out of it, then what would you see? So it cannot be a straight line always for a product roadmap. It needs to start with the minimum viable product internally, analyze it, and then go for the marketable, see your market size. And then after that, when it becomes a product market, product customer fit, then we think about, how the product roadmap should move. And then for probably cool, we can add to it how we think of bringing different features on a timeline.
Right. So, Shipra just encapsulated this whole answer really well. So I might just say add one step a little, ahead to all this is so while building a product and building this MVP, really understanding what are the set of requirements that you're choosing. It might, might just come from, sales team because some customers have asked for it. And, some might just come because there is a product, led vision, and this is how we want to attempt, and you continue to build your product in that particular manner. So I think it becomes very, very important to kind of negotiate and also understand in this whole journey that what is the priority for you. So again, as I mentioned earlier, like product strategy, like really aligning your vision, your product vision, that where is that you want to reach, and product. So that becomes like the thing, and product roadmap becomes a tool to achieve, that vision, product vision that you want to have. So really understanding, what to reach to the X goal, what is that is required, to build in terms of, MVP features. So really analyzing that and not just tacking to what customer requirements are and just, building the product, and then you don't know after one point of time, would it be scalable enough? So really understanding those user requirements and then choosing those right requirements and then building, as Shipra rightly mentioned in the agile mode, I think that becomes very, very important, and testing it out with a small set of beta customers and then, launching it full-fledged. It's something I would recommend. So yeah, that would be my submission.
Great. Yeah. So I think, Kashish, we answered that question. Should I go ahead with the second question from Mukesh Kumar?
I think we have exceeded our time limit. What we can do is definitely we can have the audience connect with you over LinkedIn or maybe answer those questions in the next session. Sorry, folks, we definitely would love to take more questions, but I see, 7-8 more questions lined up. So I'm sure we'll be able to take all of them, but thank you so much for your time and your contribution, especially on a weekend. I'm sure that it's not a very easy thing on a weekend to kind of come in on a panel discussion and exchange very, very important insights like this. So thanks a lot for speakers for your time, as well as audience. Thanks a lot for being here, being very patient, especially all of those watching us on LinkedIn. Thank you for being very patient with us until now. Before I go ahead and announce the audience question award, I would like to just give a minute to the panelists to just go through the questions that you've received, and let me know in the chat box who you would be voting for as a winner. And until then, I will also make an announcement for something called as Dine with a Product Leader Award. Now, until the panelists make the decision of who the best audience question goes to, we have something called as Dine with a Product Leader Award that will be presented to 2 lucky winners at the end of the session, which is at the end of the whole festival. On the 13th of May, we will be hosting our finale in Bangalore, CMRIT campus. This is a networking event. And on this session, on this women's conference that we will be hosting, we will be picking 2 lucky winners who've been very consistent, very enthusiastic in answering all of the questions and being very participative on all of the sessions. They will be getting a chance to dine with an industry expert and have a one-on-one conversation with them about the challenges, or just as a way to expand their network, use this opportunity to dine with a product leader. All right. I would also like to present Ms. Purvi Sharma, our panelist for the day, for sharing her lovely insights with us and for answering each of those audience questions in a lot of patience and detail. Thank you, Ms. Purvi, for your time and valuable contribution at the Celebrating Women in Product Conference series that we've hosted this month.
Thank you so much, Kashish. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me. And it's been a pleasure talking to such lovely audience and especially conversing with Shipra, who had been so enthusiastic about this whole thing. And I love the rapid fire. So thank you so much for everything, guys. I think you guys are doing a great job. So yeah.
Thank you for those kind words. All right. Before I announce, I would also like to mention again about the Product Leaders Forum. Go ahead, take a screenshot, join the community. Thank you so much, PLF, for making this event happen and bringing some really amazing speakers for you in collaboration with the Institute of Product Leadership. All right. So I think I have my audience question award ready. The winner for this session goes to Vishrut Kumar. Thank you so much for those lovely rapid fire questions that you asked back to the panelists. It was creative as well as great questions there. Thank you for your enthusiastic contribution to this session. Vishrut, you can email me and we will be going ahead to give you access to the digital learning course of your choice from the hundreds of courses that we have available at the Institute of Product Leadership. Thank you so much. And as product enthusiasts, we all know the importance of feedback. So I would request all of you, those of you watching us on LinkedIn as well as who are here on Zoom, to please take a moment to review us on Google, share us your experience of the panel, as well as if you have any feedback for the speakers of the session. And if you're looking for specific topics that you would like to hear discussions about in the future, please leave us a review and we'd be happy to go ahead and incorporate those into our next events. You can find the link to review in the chat box as well, or you can take a minute to take a screenshot and find us on Google to drop us your review and your feedback. Do not miss tomorrow's session. On day 6, we have upcoming session on the 9th of May. We have Vidya Abhijit, Soumya, and Surbhi Gupta joining us for a discussion on women in product marketing. This will be happening on the 9th of May on the coming Tuesday. So please do go ahead and join us for this upcoming session. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. We will stay connected with you and we will share the upcoming link as well with you in the emails that you've registered with us to be connected with us and join in on more such sessions. Thank you, audience, and thank you so much, speakers. Thank you, Shipra, as well, for wonderfully moderating the conversation and bringing out a lot of flavor into all of the sessions that we've had, all of the questions that we had for the day.
Thank you, Kashish. Thanks, Purvi. And thank the audience for listening to our conversation patiently. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.